Hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome once again. Now, Isak and Newcastle still doing their whole drama, transfer saga mess. I don't know whether I can say it's a war because from Newcastle side of the event, I don't think they're at war with Alexander Isak, but I can see Alexander Isak agitating to leave Newcastle over and over again. Last week a tweet came out from David Ornstein that Isak said he will not be integrated back into the team and he's adamant about leaving Newcastle. And even if the transfer window closes, he will not play for Newcastle again. Remember that tweet that came out last week from David Ornstein. Now, Isak is speaking directly. But before we start, please like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It will go a long way. Thank you. Now, let's say some things. Last night, there was a PFA award as Professional Footballer Association for Premier League awards came out last night. We saw the Premier League first 11 of all the different clubs that participated. And Alexander Isak did not show up. And he felt like, okay, this is an opportunity for him to talk because he has to give a statement after receiving such an award now. He's a very good player. He was outstanding last season. He had so many goals, okay? And his name is there, okay? So, with what's going on now, two statements were released last night. One from Alexander Isak and the other one from Newcastle. And please, before we start, I urge you guys not to feel sorry for Alexander Isak. I know there are two sides to the story. I'm saying three sides because of Liverpool. I'm always considering Liverpool in this matter. But there are two sides to this story and there are two sides to a coin. There's the Alexander Isak own and there's Newcastle own. So we'll find out who is the head or who is the tail in this coin. So now let's look at what Alexander Isak has said. Let's look at what he said. He said it came out last night when he received the award for PFA. Now let's look at what he said. He said, I'm proud to be recognized by my fellow professionals with a place in the PFA, Professional Footballers Association, Premier League team of the season 2024-2025. First and foremost, I want to thank my teammates and everyone at Newcastle United who has supported me all along the way. I'm not at the ceremony tonight with everything going on. It didn't feel right to be there. I have kept quiet for a long time while others have spoken. That silence has allowed people to push their own version of events, even though they know it doesn't reflect what was really said and agreed behind closed doors. The reality is that promises were made and the club has known my position for a long time. To now act as if these issues are only emerging is misleading. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. That's where things are for me right now and why change is the best interest for everyone, not just for myself. Alexander Isak. So Alexander Isak is thanking the PFA and professional footballers for the award, nice gesture, and he explained why I couldn't be there because of the whole transfer saga, everything going on. So he didn't feel like it's proper for him to show up to an event like that. Okay, it will just affect the place. Okay, so that's good. I can understand why, and because if he was to go to that event, it's better for him to go with Newcastle. That's how it should be done. Okay, so now he didn't go. He explained why. Collectors award. He said thank you. Now the main issue is that he has kept quiet for a while. That's what he said in this statement. He kept quiet for a while and he allowed other people to talk and give their opinion. People like myself giving opinions, okay, who are not directly close to Newcastle. So we don't know what was said behind closed doors. So he's very right in saying that. Now he's saying that promises were made and it wasn't fulfilled. So trust is gone, trust is lost, the relationship is broken. So it feels like, okay, a breakup between himself and Newcastle is the best. It's like Alexander Isak talking to his girlfriend, explaining why he can't continue the relationship with her. It's very, very, should I say romantic? It's sad. So now, because Alexander Isak is one of the best strikers in the world, I know that, man, there are so many clubs out there that will be happy to have him. And his dream club, which is Liverpool, his dream club for now, okay, wait till next 2 years when Real Madrid will be his dream club, wants him and he wants them too, okay, and he wants to play for Liverpool, and Newcastle won't let him. So he's saying his own side that he doesn't want to continue with Newcastle United. He has been very, very clear. He wants to go. They should let him go. Now, I said, don't feel sorry for this guy, okay? Please remember that these players have a contract that they signed. Their eyes were open. Their lawyers' eyes were open. Their agents' eyes were open. They all agreed and they signed this contract. And he has 3 years left on his contract, okay? So if he wants a raise, I think it's easy. They can negotiate one. I think Trossard got a raise last night from Arsenal. I'll get into it in another video. So it's possible that Newcastle United can increase Alexander Isak's salary without extending the deal. It's very, very possible. Arsenal did it last night with Trossard. So it's possible. Now, he has said his own and he wants to go. Promises, promises, promises. Now, this verbal agreement thing, I keep saying it is rubbish. If it's real that there was a verbal agreement, then bro, you are scammed for real. What's important is what's in the paper. Don't allow people to promise such a thing unless maybe if there's a verbal agreement, then they should be able to be quoted publicly. They should say it publicly that this is what was said. That way, you see people keeping to their word on verbal agreement. Now, let's go to what Newcastle said because Newcastle responded immediately. Please don't feel sorry for Alexander Isak. Please, according to me, that's just my point of view. I may be very, very wrong, but Newcastle is the victim in all this. If you have been following the transfer window, then you understand why I'm saying Newcastle is the victim in all this. Okay, now Newcastle statement. We are disappointed to have been alerted to a social media post by Alexander Isak this evening. We are clear in response that Isak remains under contract and that no commitment has ever been made by a club official that Alex can leave Newcastle United this summer. We want to keep our best player, and we also understand players have their own wishes and we listen to their views. As explained to Isak and his representatives, we must always take into consideration the best interest of Newcastle United, the team, and our supporters in all decisions. And we have been clear that the conditions of a sale this summer have not transpired. We do not foresee these conditions being met. This is a proud football club with proud traditions, and we strive to retain our family feel. Alex remains part of our family. Wow. And we will welcome and will be welcomed back when he's ready to rejoin his teammates. Okay, so now Newcastle is giving space for reconciliation. Newcastle is not saying the relationship is broken. Newcastle is saying that no promises by anybody in this club will say that, okay, guy, you'll be allowed to go this summer. Newcastle is saying, please don't believe that. Now, there is no verbal agreement of such. And Newcastle is right. Why? Because there is no proof that such a promise was made. If now you have an agreement, and we really had an agreement, and it really happened, and there is no proof, I have every right to deny the fact that we had an agreement. I have every right, because I can take it anywhere, and I'll win the case. Okay, so Newcastle is right in saying that there was no promises, there was no agreement that he'll be allowed to leave the club this summer, and they are still giving him space. Okay, boy, you can be integrated, you can join your teammates, you can play for us again. We are not saying that the relationship is broken, unlike Manchester United and the Alejandro Garnachos, Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, who again, Anthony, somebody I'm forgetting because they're like five in that whole Manchester United. Rasmus Hojlund, no, that one doesn't count. That's not a saga. They just want him. So Chelsea will do that to Sterling. Chelsea will do that to any player. Chelsea will tell you to be training your own way till they find what to do with you. You're playing with the reserves. You'll be training alone. You will not even be back into the football club. You will not even see your fellow teammates. That's what Manchester United and Chelsea will do to you. But Newcastle is saying that, see, guy, you can still play for us. We want you. We love you. We're ready to accept you back. I know, yeah, because he's scored so many goals and is an important player. Like they said, he's the best player. But Newcastle is giving room for reconciliation. Now, I said Newcastle is the victim, and let me explain why. Now, if this transfer window, if you have been following it, you see that Newcastle have been trying to buy the likes of Hugo Ekitike, João Pedro, Liam Delap, this guy they just missed, Benjamin Šeško, and there are so many other targets that I may not be able to remember right now. Newcastle has been trying to buy players. They have been trying to get a replacement for Alexander Isak. The only person that they have on lockdown is Young Wissa, because he wants the Newcastle move. Wissa wants to play in the Champions League. He wants to leave Brentford. Now you could argue that what is happening with Wissa and Brentford is the same thing happening with Newcastle and Alexander Isak. So it's a domino, like it keeps happening to happen at different stages in life. Alexander Isak, we saw him, even if he's not a striker, we saw him trying to leave Liverpool to go to Real Madrid. It's just stages of life. Everybody wants to get to the next level in life, and that's understandable. But please, I insist, do not feel sorry for Isak because he signed a contract. His eyes were open when he signed a contract, and he has 3 years left on his contract. Now, players coming out to say that verbal agreement, don't allow them to trick you, please. These players are rich. They are very, very rich people, and trust me, if footballers were not paid well, Alexander Isak will not be comfortable not playing football for all these weeks. Because he has money. Footballers are paid very well. If it was like 20 years ago, footballers were not paid this much. You can't do this because if you don't play for your team 1-2 weeks and they find you, you will get broke. But now footballers are multi-millionaires, so they can afford to like get fined. They can afford to lose like 50 million. It doesn't mean anything. They will still get it back. I don't know if you understand me. So don't feel sympathy for Alexander Isak. He's someone that signed an agreement with Newcastle and he's not keeping to his word. Now he's coming at verbal agreements. All the Alexander Isak, Victor Yokores, Ademola Lookman, I love him, but I mentioned his name because they are also talking about promises. Yohan Wissa, I love him. All these guys, I love them. I think they are one of the best players in the world. I love them, but they fall into the same category of talking about verbal agreement, promises, trust was broken, and gentleman's agreements. It doesn't make any sense to me. What makes sense to me is what is in the paper, what your signature is on, what you actually signed, and your eyes were open. Then you read those conditions and you signed it. And now because you want something else in life, your priorities have changed, and you feel like you're a better person, and because maybe you are truly a better person, you have proved yourself as a football player, and now you want to get to the next level, and that move is not coming for you. Then you now start saying things like promises, verbal agreements, and please, guys, know that I know that these things may be true. I know that yes, these players may not be lying. There might really be a verbal agreement and promises, gentleman agreement, stuff like that. But please, let's be educated here. Let's talk like people that know what's up. What stands in the court and any other place is what you signed. So that's why I don't feel sorry for Alexander Isak. So guys, thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Thank you. Drop your comments too. Bye for now.